All right, here we are, officially married. Can you see that? Can you see that? Big deal. Major life moment. It was a beautiful day, and yeah, I wouldn't have had it any other way. Got my little Mr. Mug, and I don't know. I'm excited. I feel a closeness with my wife that I didn't know I would feel afterwards. I think it's going to be a growing thing. I think, the connection will just continue. But I don't know if I want to sit on that today because, again, this is a freestyle. This is my journal entry, and I want to revisit some things that I talked about before. You want to come in? You want to come into the video? My little friend here. Let's see if he'll sit. Oh, all right. Oh, what's up? What's wrong? What's that? What's that sound? We got the camera rolling. What's going on? You okay? What happened? You stepped on your tail? Okay, we're gonna keep rolling. I think one of the things I was thinking about saying before I, was gonna film this video was really just about the fight for me to not lose my artistic drive. It's really difficult at times because I'm not a full-time artist. I'm not somebody that makes my living completely off of art, and the dream to do so is still there. And I've watched others do it, and I've seen the difficulties, I've seen the success stories, I've seen the struggle, and it's something for the past 10 years that I've undoubtedly had wanted, and I think there was a bit of me being naive and maybe younger and single and selfish, where I just wanted to do kind of whatever it took to paint, because I'm not a big fan of the rules. And when I'm selling a painting and I'm working on my artwork and things are good, it's like this weird defiance and this weird freedom of, yeah, see, I don't need this thing. I don't need to clock in and clock out and ask for permission to use the bathroom or whatever it is. That's sucker stuff. This thing I have here is something that I can control, and it's my destiny, and so on. But my life isn't like that. I mean, you're as relevant as your last sale. You're as comfortable as your last sale. And for me, sitting around in a studio trying to make that next sale and put the pieces together as like not a world-renowned artist is very difficult. And it's even more difficult to... Is he gonna squeak when I try to take you down? Huh? You think we should try? Go ahead. Go. He wants to go sit outside more than anything, and it's 100 degrees out. This little bacon bit. I'll give you till the end of the video. Come on, stand by. You get 5 minutes. Okay. Distraction, but let's stay on theme here. Yeah, I mean, the ups and downs of wanting to create full-time is wild, and it's really hard, and it's scary, and For the longest time, I thought that, I was gonna save up enough money and take the jump, and set it up in such a way where I never have to go back to a job, a sink or swim space, and saving years worth of savings and just going. And there is still a part of me that believes that when or if I go to that jump and that full-time role in creating, that I will somehow make it work. Whether it's multiple different side hustles, just the freedom to create when I want to create. But to be honest, the job has now expanded and changed in such a way where I'm like finally enjoying the job. And the strange notion is that right now, am I enjoying the job more than the art, is an interesting question that I've been pondering. But this is kind of typical for me when things are fresh and new and exciting. I get kind of obsessive. So the job kind of feels like that. And balancing the art and knowing I have to work on a painting today just because I have to, because I don't want to answer to myself if I haven't painted for an extended period of time. It is like a duty, a meditative duty, just a thing. Like I'm so kind of robotic with it when I have a day or time to myself, like it's time to paint. But with the job growing and me enjoying the job and feeling this excitement, I'm starting to finally maybe give in to the fact that like I'm maybe not supposed to be a career full-time artist in this strict like black or white, like if I don't, then I didn't make it. I do have a fear, like when I'm older, that I'll be like telling somebody a story and maybe from my past, and I'll see them in 20, 30 years and they'll say like, Ryan, whatever happened with the art? And I'll say something like, oh yeah, I put it down and things got busy or whatever kind of excuse. And I'm honestly very afraid of that, to go to my grave with like a what if. What if I did really try it? What if I did, time it right? What's missing, And that's still there. But I used to look at the job versus the art as like a brainwash. Like I would go around my job and these poor people would seem so brainwashed in the thing that they're doing. And the whole place is like that. I know I'm not seeing them at home, which would help, level out this view, but I'm seeing them at the job and it just looks like this is like all they do. And it looks like prison. And it's scary. And I don't want to end up like that. I'm extremely grateful because the position I'm in at work doesn't really look like that. It's like super cool, and it's probably the coolest part of the company that I could be involved in. But it was like this thing, like these people are trying to brainwash me and migrate me over to their side of corporate 30-year-long career, then retirement at an age where I'm too old to even enjoy it. And like, I don't want that. And I'm not even so sure that I do currently, but it's just kind of like one foot in front of the other. And as I'm talking through this, for me, the solution is keep going, not hang up on this stuff too much. Keep making my art, keep trying to progress at work, and let's have a balance for these things. Whether if I submit to the work life because arguably there's more pros than trying to pursue full-time art at the age that I am. There's stability, there's community, there's a bunch of pros that I can go with the job. I'm learning so much, and I can translate some of that to the art world. It just I think feels good all around. None of this is really negative, but I'm watching like the desire to paint kind of slide a little bit, and that's fine because it kind of ebbs and flows. I'll get a commission tomorrow or some exciting idea where I'm like, I want to be up all night working on it. So it comes and goes, and I think, back to the more important part is that I just got to keep the brush warm. I need to keep kind of creating for my own spirit and this weird like ode to myself, because I will not lose my identity because I'm in the workforce. And that's what I think it boils down to. I'm afraid to lose my identity as an artist because I put a uniform on countless hours a week, or I go out and I'm essentially this other person where nobody cares that I do art. Like maybe a small percentage of them actually would like to hear what I do. Most of them are just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Because they're either just not into it, they don't like the art, they're not open-minded enough, or like they just don't have time to think about anything else but like work and like drinking beers on the weekends. I have no idea. So we're gonna talk through it together. We're gonna follow along, and this is what that is. So I'm excited to look back on these in a couple years. I think I've said that before, to kind of compare and contrast like where I was at, and this is where I'm at today. So here we go.